Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for Studio 512. The winner of 10, count them, 10 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, no big deal, is here in town. It's glitz, grandeur, and romance, y'all. We're talking about Moulin Rouge, the musical. With the 2 stars of the show, we got so lucky. We have Jay Armstrong Johnson as Christian, and Ariana Rosario as Satine. And I'm so excited to talk to y'all this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, thanks for being here. Let's first talk about the world of Moulin Rouge, because if we go back a little bit, there was a movie that came out in 2001 that really set the stage. Baz Luhrmann's Moulin Rouge. Nicole Kidman, I have to say, killed it. Yes. So if it's okay with you, Ariana, will you tell us just a little bit about kind of the world of Moulin Rouge?
Absolutely. The world in the stage musical is very similar to the film for people that have seen the film.
Okay, good.
So they kind of translate Baz's big, eccentric, colorful style onto the stage, and we see that with the costumes, with the set design, with the music. There was so much music in that film. We've
good music,
really great
too.
music, and so we've updated that in the stage version. So we have about 72 songs within the show, either little mashups or whole songs.
Yeah.
And some are from the film, the iconic ones you love. We have Roxanne, Come What May, Your Song. But then we've updated and we have things like Burning Down the House and Katy Perry's Firework and Toxic. And so there's a kind of a little bit for everybody.
It's a jukebox musical, I know, but 70 songs is asking a lot of your beautiful voices. I was wondering how the production compares to the movie. But maybe for the uninitiated, Jay, if you wouldn't mind, talk to me a little bit about what the story is about.
Yeah, the story, it's truth, beauty, freedom, and love are the themes of our show, and it's about my character Christian, who's escaping his life in America to go find a life of art and fun and romance in Paris. And he meets Satine along the way at the iconic Moulin Rouge, and they fall in love, and hijinks and drama ensue.
And you can see there is such a sensual take to the whole thing, because we're kind of talking about, how do I want to say it for our PG audiences? A little bit of the thing that you might know France for, more of a underworld kind of approach. Does that sound right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's we have these moments in the show where we talk about, we have the aristocrats that come, but there's also this other world in Paris that are creatures of the underworld, and this kind of darkness, but we put the fun in it as well. This grittiness, I guess, to the show.
Because we are dealing with some actual themes of Satine is being promised to a man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so
absolutely.
There's money and power here happening.
Power dynamics and all of that, and I think especially with Satine, her struggle within the show is, the power dynamic between choosing a life of comfort and this man that is coming and promising everything in the world to her, or finding love for the first time and choosing to choose this and stay with the family that she knows at the Moulin Rouge.
And she's hiding a secret from both of them. Yes. Ooh, yeah. So if you do not know the storyline, I actually want to ask this. Jay, do you think people need to know anything about Moulin Rouge before they show up?
Not really. If you've seen the movie, then you know the storyline, but really it's kind of your star-crossed lovers. It's your Romeo and Juliet. It's your Orpheus and Eurydice. Yeah. They're kind of take from all of the iconic love stories of the past and La Boheme, and kind of make this new, exciting, beautiful, lush new musical.
So cool. Okay. I want to ask a little bit more about your characters if I can. How does it feel playing Christian? Ugh. He is on an exploration. He is searching, and boy, does he fall hard.
He sure does. Yeah, Christian's He feels before he thinks, is what I say. He leads
That's
with
fair.
his heart. And this is a dream role of mine. I mean, ever since Ewan McGregor's incredible performance in the movie.
And he rocked.
Oh, he killed it. I've dreamed of doing this on stage. And I knew it would become a stage musical because it's so theatrical in the film. So I'm privileged, I'm grateful to be here and to play this dream role that I've been dreaming of since I was 12.
Oh, that's amazing. I hope Ewan McGregor gets to hear that one day.
Hey,
and I will say that sometimes we get, these traveling shows where they're really pared back. And I think purposefully so. Because, we got to get everybody all around the country and all that stuff. But seeing the pictures of the costumes, the world that you guys are celebrating and having fun with here on stage, it's really fun. It's bright, it's colorful, it's vibrant.
And they've done a really great job translating the Broadway set. The Broadway set has the passerelle and has a few of those elements that obviously you can't bring into every proscenium theater, but they've taken all of the additional elements with the costumes and the set design and the props and just basically everything that we have on stage is almost identical to the Broadway company.
A lot of can happening. Yes. Okay. And I want to ask about Satine and how it feels to be playing this heroine, but who is struggling internally with so many things.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think I feel the same as Jay. When I saw Nicole Kidman play this, in Baz's film, I was like, oh, that's a role that I would love to play. It's just so complex in so many ways, and I think as a woman, that's also something that we deal with all the time. There's so many different facets to us and parts of us that we show to particular people, and so with Satine having all of these different elements to her, it's really fun getting to pull, her goofy side out, or the moments when she needs to be a little bit more, alluring to everyone else. And because she is the star of the show, she is the sparkling diamond. So you have this persona of the sparkling diamond, but Christian is the one who actually gets her to break out of her shell and show who she is as on the human side of it all, which is lovely.
I can't wait to see it. Y'all, thank you so much. I know the appropriate thing to say is break a leg. And we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Tickets for Moulin Rouge the musical are available now. And shows, run now through May 25th here in Austin, so you've got about another 10 days. Learn more at BroadwayInAustin.com or TexasPerformingArts.org. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Austin Symphony Orchestra. As the weather warms up, we are ready for summertime, and by that we mean the music of Porgy and Bess by George Gershwin and Carlos Simon's Amen, as performed by Austin Symphony Orchestra. Music director and conductor Peter Bay is here in the flesh to tell us more about it. We're happy to have him. Peter, first of all, let's talk about your upcoming concert on May 16th and 17th.
Thank you, Rosie. Good to see you. This is the end of our Masterwork series, and it's an all-American affair. We start with the piece you mentioned, Amen, by Carlos Simon, who is a living young composer. He's the composer in residence of the National Symphony in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And is commissioned by many, many orchestras around the country. Then the major work on the program is by George Gershwin, and it's a 75-minute version of his 3-hour opera, Porgy and Bess. And the song Summertime, Bess, You Is My Woman Now, It Ain't Necessarily So. All of those will be heard in this version that we're going to perform. We have a fabulous cast, a chorus, and of course the full orchestra.
When I hear opera, French, Italian. Is this done in English?
This is English.
Okay.
In fact, it's a kind of a dialect of Gullah English from South Carolina. It's an opera, but it's by Gershwin, so a lot of people didn't take it seriously when it was first performed. In fact, it didn't play in an opera house. I think it played in a Broadway house.
Wow.
Because it's like a Broadway show in a way, because the tunes are popular. But it's to be sung by operatically trained singers. So when we have a cast who really know how to sing this music.
And then we just want to brag a little bit more on Carlos as well, if we can. The fact that he is a young, living composer, wonderful to use such active talent.
Well, I think the symphony, we believe that at one time Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms, they were all living composers and had their music not been played while they were alive, who knows where they would have been. So we feel it's really important to feature composers who are still living. And Carlos is such a good composer. As I mentioned earlier, he's being commissioned by so many orchestras around the country, even across the pond. He's getting played in Europe as well.
It runs 2 nights, May 16th and 17th.
Right, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
at the Long Center.
And are tickets still available?
There are tickets. You can get them at austinsymphony.org, or if you want, you can come right to the Long Center on the concert nights and pick them up at the box office. You can buy some there. We have a pre-concert talk that starts at 7:10 that will prep the audience or whoever wants to come about the program.
Popular music. I'm pretty impressed. Thank you so much, Peter, as always, for your time. And hey, break a leg.
Thank you, Rosie.
Get tickets now at austinsymphony.org. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Austin Symphony Orchestra. Welcome back, everybody. There is a really fun celebration of Greek culture, food, and music coming up. It's the Austin Greek Festival, and it's happening Memorial Day weekend. Alex and Maria Mikalakos, I tried. It's hard when it's a traditional Greek name, are joining us to tell us more, and I'm going to attempt to say good morning to you. Is it Kalimera?
That's perfect.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. And nice to see you too. Yes, thank you, Maria, for joining us. Okay, coming to you first here, Alex. We had y'all on the show last year talking about the Greek Fest. This is the 6th year it's going on. Why don't you talk to me a little bit about what the fest is about and what people can expect when they show up?
Well, sure. Greeks are known for 4 things, especially. There's the food, the hospitality, dancing, and sort of the attitude or the aptitude for having a good time. And we call that kefi.
Kefi.
Right? Yeah, you want to have a good time, enjoy your life. And if you got to bring your kefi to the Greek Fest. And if you do that, you're going to be living the Greek life all weekend long.
Living the Greek life.
Yep.
Not a bad idea to wear blue and white. Yes, look at this, like celebrating the little Greek flag there. There's a lot going on. I do want to ask if there's anything new or different this year, if people have been attending in the past.
There are some, well, first of all, if it's hot, we're going to have misters, fans with misters to kind of beat the heat. We also have a new thing where if you arrive via rideshare, Uber, Lyft, there's free admission.
Wonderful.
So those are some of the things that are new this year.
Because you've got ouzo or something like that. Yeah, nice little beverages along the way. So a rideshare is a good idea.
Yeah. When you arrive, people can expect to be, transported to someplace different, right?
I love
You're
that.
not going to be in Austin. You're going to feel like you're in Greece. Why? Because we're up on a hill, just like in Greece, and you're going to be sitting there with no cares in the world, nothing to do but eat some authentic Greek food, sip Greek beer, and just feel the gentle breeze with the most beautiful view of the hill country. Not a care in the world.
Oh, you're painting me a picture. I like the sound of that. Okay, Maria, you said you specialize when it comes to the food and the drink.
Yes.
So first of all, can you introduce us to some of the dishes that you guys brought today?
Definitely. You're going to find some authentic Greek food, the best Greek food in Austin. Over here we have dolmades, which are stuffed grape leaves. They are vegan. So we do have vegetarian plates, which I know a lot, when you think of Greek food, you think of lamb.
Yep.
And gyro and souvlaki, but we do have a lot of vegetarian options also. Spinach pies and cheese pies are called spanakopita and tiropita, and they're made with feta, which is absolutely delicious, and the crispy filo on the outside.
Amazing.
We have Greek salad with feta on top, some Greek French fries, Greek potatoes, pork or chicken souvlaki, which is meat on a stick, a skewer, and
Souvlaki is meat on a stick. Okay, I didn't know that.
we have tzatziki, which is my favorite.
Mine too.
The garlic yogurt and
dill. Yes.
And then this is my children's favorite. It's the authentic Greek street food, which is a gyro, which is made with lamb and beef, and inside are onions and tomatoes and tzatziki on top. The Greek trick is to put some French fries in the pita when you eat it. Delicious.
Good to know.
And then this is kind of like, this is called pasticcio. It's kind of like a Greek version of lasagna. There's pasta inside and ground beef, wonderful aromatic spices, and bechamel sauce on top with a Parmesan crust. delicious.
Loads of cheese, y'all.
And then the pastries. Oh, I worked the pastry booth last year, and the excitement for authentic Greek pastries is just so wonderful. We have kourabiedes, which is kind of like a wedding cookie.
Okay.
I advise you not to inhale when you eat that.
That's a lot of powdered
because
sugar.
The sugar might get you all choked up. We have koulourakia, which are nice dunking cookies for your hot coffee if you want. Baklava, which is phyllo and nuts and delicious honey drizzled on top. Melamakarona, kataifi, and we have some almond cookies.
May I tell you, I love hearing all of the traditional names for these things, and you pronounce them so beautifully. So thank you for teaching me something I will never be able to spell.
Can I also talk about our beverages?
Yes, please.
Because we have imported wine from Greece, and we have 2 different kinds of beer, which Alex loves those. And then it's probably going to be a warm weekend. We have an ouzorita, which is a margarita, but instead of tequila, we like to put ouzo inside, and those are so delicious. And a frosé also. So there's 2 frozen options. For the kids, there's going to be a sundae booth with banana splits and ice cream sundaes and soft serve. So we do have those cool treats also.
Lots of food and drinks to check out there. Okay, Alex, I want to talk about the location that you mentioned on the top of the hill and why it matters, because we're talking about what portion of the ticket proceeds or the proceeds from the day go back. In a way. And so to Community First is where they'll go, and they'll also help support your new building, which we were talking about actually last year, and it's now gotten built.
Yeah, so last year the building was under construction. It's our community center, which we hope to share with all people. And this year we're into that, but we're finishing up phase 2, which is some other areas, a parking area and the grounds. And then, like you said, a portion is also going to go to Community First, which is an awesome place. And we've been there, and we do a little Greek fest there too. When we go, we do dancing, and there's wonderful people. It's a wonderful thing.
I'm so glad you brought up dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And also the church tours. And the church tours are a huge attraction of the festival. They happen every hour.
Beautiful.
And it's inside the church.
Yeah, there's so you'll see every hour Byzantine iconography, art, and architecture. So this is a 1500-year-old style, which people really, really enjoy. It's one of our most popular things.
It's so gorgeous. Okay, and then yes, dancing.
Yeah.
You actually taught the performers who are going to be out there.
Well, so I teach the high school kids, and we're going to have, so dancing is a really big part of the Greek kefi, right? So we're going to have entertainment all day long. We have a live band from Greece, right? So they're going to be playing all day long. There will be dancers from around Texas, including our own church. And you will be marveling at the dancing, the strength and the elegance of these dances. And you're going to have to get involved when you come there. So after they're done, they will pull you out. You will get up there and dance, and you will love it. You will have the time of your life. And when you're having the time of your life, you're just going to want to yell, "Oppa!"
Oppa!
And trust me, there is nothing as good for the human spirit or the soul as Greek dancing. You're going to love it.
It all sounds really incredible. We'll have to leave it there, y'all, but this just sounds like a really wonderful event. I can't wait to hear how it goes. I'm crossing my fingers for lower temperatures for you. But, you know, it's traditional to be hot in Greece, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That's part of it, right?
Okay, thank you guys so much. Proceeds from the festival, as you heard, go towards supporting Community First. And admission is just $5, but if you get there with a ride share, you can get in for free, as you heard him mention. So for more information, visit their website, austingreekfestival.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Albertsons and Randall's.
This month, our favorite brand, Signature Select, available exclusively at your local Randall's or Albertsons, has rescued mealtime with a $15 pesto chicken meal bundle offer with 4 products that will nourish a family of 4 at a delightful value. All you have to do is clip the offer in the Randall's For You app. Now, the offer kicks off on the 14th and lasts until May 27th, so pull that app up now and make sure you clip it. Then head into your local store or shop online for 4 items: Signature selects Campari tomatoes, their romaine hearts, pesto sauce, and boneless, skinless, frozen diced chicken breast. And today I'm going to show you 3 delicious ways to take that $15 meal bundle offer and put your own crowd-pleasing signature on it. Meal number 1 is a quick and easy pesto chicken salad. Just take that cooked chicken and toss with the delicious pesto, giving all of those rich basil flavors that will transport you to Italy in one bite. Stuff into romaine boats and then topped with chopped tomatoes. Now, nutritionally, you're gonna get high quality protein to sustain you, healthy fats to satisfy you, and antioxidants to support your overall health. We love this one meal prepped as a lunch or a quick dinner before heading out the door for kids' activities. Meal number 2, May is actually National Salad Month, and these 4 ingredients come together into an irresistible spin on a salad. Just roast the chicken together with the tomatoes until those tomatoes are blistered and the chicken's cooked. Then add that to romaine and drizzle the mouth-watering pesto as a dressing. One pro tip, I love to take leftover bread or bagels that are too dry to use and rescue them by turning them into homemade croutons. Just add oil, a dash of garlic powder, and roast until they're crispy crunchy, and you'll have a hearty and irresistible salad. Meal number 3, summer skewers with pesto dip. So saute the diced chicken and skewer with tomatoes and chunks of lettuce, and the kiddos can help make this one. Then make a creamy sauce by blending the pesto with Lucerne cottage cheese. And dinner time becomes fun, engaging, delicious, and budget friendly. Now, while you're in your store, pick up some easy fruits to fill in the gap or make a fruit salad with them, like juicy, delicious gold nugget mandarins, sweet Caroline blackberries, and my favorite Signature Select sugar beet apples. Taking a no food waste approach really helps stretch any budget, so we turn that leftover fruit salad from dinner the night before into a yogurt fruit parfait the next morning. Oh, and more good news. Get it all in one simple click or trip to your local Randall's or Albertsons. And one more reason to love Signature Select, they consistently offer the love it or it's on us money back guarantee because they want you to be completely satisfied. Just go to randalls.com/signature select for more.
The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Albertsons and Randall's. Hey, did you know May is Texas Writers Month? We love supporting local authors. So today we're joined by Brian Cranley to discuss his upcoming book, The Call of Wonder. I like the title. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, Rosie. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Let's talk about why Texas Writers Month is so important, especially for a first-time author like you.
Yeah, great question. So writing a book is a big project, I realized, as a first-time author. Now I realize the second big project is getting the word out. How do you let people know as a total unknown who you are and what your book's about? So shows like Studio 512 and my PR team, PR by the Book, help with that a ton. So Texas Writers Month gives us that kind of awareness that we need.
Wonderful. Yeah, it kind of gives you the platform to say, hey,
Right.
I'm here.
Right.
Check me out. Let's talk about the story, The Call of Wonder, because it came to you.
Yeah.
And so I'm really interested to hear about what it's about.
Yeah.
And then apparently we learn how you became a writer.
Yeah, both cool stories. But the book is about the connections between faith and science. And so it kind of makes the claim that God reveals himself in science. And so when we discover things about like the Big Bang or biologic evolution, you know, real scientific things, the book says that God's image kind of comes into focus as the creator more.
Hey, I'm on there right
you know,
now.
kind of
Can I
contrary to what
text
some
you or
people
call you later?
think. And so
Yeah.
it really deals with
Okay,
that
bye.
struggle that many of us live with, myself included, which is how do I reconcile a genuine love for science with a rational belief in God? And I think it came out, it's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, and so I had no idea. I didn't know if like The Call of Wonder meant that we're like heading into a forest and it's a fiction book
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
What would you label the genre as? You know, who should
Yeah.
be a reader for this book?
Yeah, so it really goes after people that love science and people that kind of want to know more about the logical arguments for God. So the first half of the book deals with philosophy, kind of Aristotle, Plato, Aquinas, and how these ideas of a rational idea for God came into being. And then the second half deals with all of our modern scientific discoveries, people like myself that love images of deep space from the James Webb Telescope, or even, you know, just looking up at the Milky Way on a clear night. It's for those people. Like that sense of wonder is what drives scientists, philosophers, and theologians. So it's kind of for everyone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So is there research in the book, or is it kind of your exploration?
Well, let me tell you how the idea for the book came about. Because I have a random background on one side in biomedical engineering, and on the other side I have a degree in philosophy and theology. And so my whole life
this book was happening.
I've kind of sat with these two sides and wondered, how does this go together? And then one day I was watching a YouTube video talking about the very beginning of the Big Bang, the first moment of the universe, and the way that the scientists described the first moment of the universe was exactly how the ancient philosophers described God. And in that moment I was like, oh my gosh, maybe these two do go together. So that's kind of how the book came about, and it grew from there, talking about biology and evolution and the human mind, things that, just fascinating topics, and how they go together is kind of super cool. So
You're gonna hear a little something about, I don't know, maybe the way I believe, by me adding in here, the Fibonacci sequence showing up in nature is pine cones, y'all, Romanesco, cruciferous vegetables, that sort of thing. I think that is kind of the argument.
There's definitely
that's
a
happening.
mind behind everything.
Right.
Yeah, so that kind of comes through. Yeah, and that's definitely all in the book. So.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. I do want to ask what you're hoping for this book, and about who you really want it to fall into the hands of. Is it people like you who have this kind of natural curiosity about the two coming together?
Yeah, good question. When you write a book, I've learned you have to really specify a target reader. So my target reader for this book is the person who has left a belief in God because of a love of science and the belief that the two are irreconcilable. So that person, but it's also for anybody that just kind of wants to learn more about their faith or wants to learn more about science. There's a little something in there for everybody, but it's really trying to provide reason to believe, a rational, belief behind your faith. So that's kind of the target.
How much research did you have to put into this book? How many years was this in the making?
25 years, a master's degree, a bachelor's. I didn't know I was preparing for the book, but it's all gone in there. And then I had to go back, because it's been 20 years. I had to go back and research all that again. So it took me 4 years to write and then another year to edit. So
wow.
I'm excited. It's coming out in August, so it's coming out pretty soon.
Well, congratulations. I mean, 20 plus years in the making. Something you got to be
get
proud
ready.
of. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad that you did bring up a target date.
Yes.
So this is coming out later this summer, and where will we be able to get it?
You can pre-order on Amazon right now.
Okay.
It's called The Call of Wonder. Pre-order on Amazon. It comes out commercial release August 5th. Hopefully in bookstores and everywhere. But if you go to my website, briancranley.com, you can read chapter 1 right now. We just uploaded it, so it's available for everyone.
I think that's really cool to offer chapter 1 for free. That way people get a taste.
Yeah.
And I know you're secretly thinking, I hope I get them hooked.
Yeah.
Please
Buy the
order
book.
my
Buy
book. Congratulations, Brian, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rosie. Appreciate
All right. Okay, guys, as you heard him say, pre-order Brian's book on Amazon or head to his website to read the first chapter for free and learn more, briancranley.com. Welcome back. A quick piggyback here. Since it's Texas Writers Month, we thought it would be helpful to teach local authors a bit about how to market themselves and their stories. Nick Shank at 3rd and Lamar does just that, and he's joining us today to tell us more. So good morning, Nick.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Talk to us a little bit about your company, which you told me you opened 3 months before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, great timing. We made it work. Yeah, 3rd and Lamar, we're based in Austin. We're an ad agency and a production house. We work with authors, media, talent, and other brands to tell their stories so they can grow their audiences on social media.
Mm-hmm. And social media, of course, has been a changing game over the last, let's call it 20 years now. Yeah, because my 20-year high school reunion's coming up. And when I graduated high school, you had to have a valid email address in order to sign up for Facebook.
Yep.
Like you had to be going to a college. And so the year was 2006, everybody. Let's talk about how you help authors build awareness for their books, because you work with all these, different types of people, but authors, I'm assuming, have some specific roadblocks ahead of them.
Yeah, I would say for authors in particular, they really need to focus on their storytelling with video content. I would say 5-10 years ago, video was a nice to have, and now it's like a must have. Every social media platform favors video content because it keeps people engaged longer. So you're gonna get more reach and impressions on average for videos than any other content type.
Well, now this is really kind of an interesting like dual-sided coin, right? Because oftentimes authors, unlike Brian, who we just met, who is very gregarious, are kind of more introverted people. They prefer putting the pen to paper, and maybe they don't want to put their face out there. What do you say to that?
Yeah, few pieces of advice. I think you have to connect directly with your audience through video content, be personable, be authentic. Also, like, done is better than perfect. Like, you don't want to overthink video content.
I need to hear that again.
Like, some authors think like everything has to be super polished or super high production value, but like start with selfie style videos that can come across as really authentic. I think the second thing is the why is just as important as the what. Like, you may think that you just have to tell people about your story, the plot, the characters, but tell people what inspired you to tell the story. That context can draw people in.
Yeah. So it's almost like I'm hearing you say, get people connected with you.
Yep.
Then they'll be motivated to get connected with your book.
For sure. That context can really like give people a visceral reaction, which will make your book more memorable.
I like that. And one kind of bonus tip that you have for us along the way is to explore collaborations.
Yeah. There's a lot of authors out there that might be producing work in your genre. They might have huge followings, maybe big YouTube channels. Reach out to them, create content with them, and tap into their audience and vice versa. That could be a super effective way to grow your awareness and your audience too.
I'm so glad you brought this up, because this hits at the heart of something that I have had to learn in my time in television, which is that, like, these are not your competitors.
Yeah.
These people are selling their books right alongside you, and you can learn from them. They can learn from you. And, you know, somebody might buy 2 books at once. They like this genre, they like this idea, and so you're kind of plugging into a community.
Exactly, and it's not a zero-sum game. Another tip would be like, if there's a book out there in your same genre that's already established, try associating your book to that. Say like, hey, if you like this, you'll also like my book, but my book has maybe this twist or this little difference. So generally speaking, people can understand what your book's about, and you don't have to get into the minutia.
Yeah, okay, interesting one. And you say Q&As or like ask me anything, really good way to get to know the author.
Yeah, and it engages your audience, so it's not like bland content that you're putting out there. You can really get into your personal story, and it's an informal way to do it too. Yeah.
I think that's really cool. Okay. Any last tips that I can get for our authors? Because I think there's also been a big explosion in people sitting down and writing after the pandemic, right? Because everybody had to slow down.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people who thought, I'll be a writer someday, finally made that book. And now they're not sure how to get it out and about and to get eyes on it.
Yeah, definitely. I think authors need to know that they're the face of their brands, nobody else is. And so put yourself out there, and that's going to draw people in because they know the face behind the book. Don't try to delegate it to somebody else. You're the face of your brand. Use video and just connect directly with your audience.
You're the face of your brand if you're an author. That is really interesting. Okay, what sort of services, if I may ask, do you guys offer at Third and Lamar? You talked about how you don't just handle authors, you do other things as well.
Yes, we work not only with authors, e-commerce, tech companies, consumer packaged goods companies. We do paid search, paid social campaigns, and full service production. So that can take the form of animated videos, brand videos, commercials, connected TV campaigns. So yeah, all that.
And what I'm hearing you say without saying it is video is it. This is the way that we're moving forward, is in every single realm. It doesn't matter if you're an author or not. It's that connection, the video that you want to be making.
100%. It's video. If you notice, every single social media app now has a dedicated video tab, and that's not a coincidence. They're trying to prioritize video. So if you want to reach your audience, like, you have to double down on video.
Okay. All right. Some really interesting stuff today. And if somebody is maybe an author who's written a book or has something else that, you know, they're thinking, oh, I just really need someone to really help me with my campaign. Can they get in touch with you?
Yeah. Go to thirdandlamar.com. Reach out to us there. We do free video audits. We can look at the videos you've produced and give you kind of ideas to improve and other video ideas as well. And we can look at your paid media campaigns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys offer a lot.
Yeah,
I
we
really
do.
appreciate your time, and thank you for highlighting local authors. I think that's really cool.
Thanks so much for having me.
We appreciate it, Nick. Okay, if you want to learn more about working with Nick and his marketing strategies, head to thirdandlamar.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by The Travel Mom.
Hello and greetings from the world famous Atlantis, Bahamas, Paradise Island. This iconic resort is simply spectacular and offers something for everyone. Whether you're looking for family fun, a girls' getaway, or romantic escape, you can find it here. There are 4 unique towers, each with their own flavor and personality. The beaches are gorgeous. And I love a water park, and this one exceeds all expectations. They've got a 141-acre water park called Aquaventure. If you like casino gaming action, you're gonna love Atlantis, Bahamas, because they've got that here. There's also so many ways to enjoy nightlife with more than 40 restaurants, bars, and lounges. There's great food and dining options for everyone. And they've introduced some new experiences at Atlantis. They've got Good Lies mini golf experience. You can see Junkanoo parades in Marina Village twice a week. There's the magic show of famous magician Rob Lake and world-class A-list entertainment with live performances. And this is the ideal time to save on a vacation to Atlantis, because their summer sale that runs through Memorial Day weekend and has your travels covered all the way through November will save 25% off of your room rate and up to $1,000 in resort credits to be used here at Atlantis, Bahamas. To learn more about that and start planning your trip, go to atlantisbahamas.com. I'm Emily Kaufman, the Travel Mom, wishing you and your family happy travels from the Atlantis.
Preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by The Travel Mom. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by Austin Symphony Orchestra, Randalls and Albertsons, and The Travel Mom.